Hi, I'm Paul, the running shoe guru. This is Marathon Handbook, and this is the new Rocket X2 from Hoka. So, as always, a few stats to start with. In the UK, the Rocket X2 is £220, so priced very similarly to a lot of other carbon racers. And in the US, it's $250. We've got a typically Hoka 5mm drop, and the stack height being 36mm in the heel, dropping to 31mm under the forefoot. It's an all-gender shoe, so we don't have a particular last men's and ladies. Sizes run all the way through from the smallest ladies to the largest men's. Weights 236 grams or 8.3 ounces. That's an American 8, UK 7. So weight very similar to a lot of other competitor models in the carbon racer category. So what's new? Straight up, best shoe ever from Hoka. And it's the first shoe that's really got away from using the rubberized compression molded EVA midsole materials. So we've got something very new, very modern by running shoe standards in terms of that soft, springy foam. It's a dual density foam, slightly softer on the bottom layer. You can see the seam here to the top, and that gives it a feel of being softer in the heel on impact and firming up on toe off. Full length, curved carbon plate in there as well, and you can see it's this line here, so it does have a little bit of a curve to it, this bottom line rather, sorry, through there. That's where the seam is, so it's placed a little bit away from the bottom of the shoe. The original Rocket X, it was placed very kind of flat under the bottom, so it didn't really give you that added propulsion that you expect from a carbon plate. But this one, it really does. On the run, initially getting the shoe on, and I'll come back to getting the shoe on as well, it did feel a little wobbly, a little unstable, particularly in the heel area. It is very soft at the back here, okay? You can see that. It's really soft. And I did think that perhaps my foot would collapse on the lateral edge on the initial impact and it would throw it out all over the place. But once running, absolutely fine, to be honest. It really surprised me because I did think it felt too soft, too wobbly. Once running up to speed, absolutely fine. Did notice it's kind of got a softer feel on impact and firming up. The softer layer of foam gets lesser under the forefoot, and then you've still got the PEBA foam in there, so it's nice and responsive, but it's a little bit firmer, and combined with that carbon plate gives a nice springy toe off that you expect from carbon plated shoes. So yeah, it feels great, it really does. And once up to speed, it's as good as anything else. I would say the foam itself feels very similar to the New Balance rather, Fuel Cell Elite. In terms of the compression rate, the bounce of it, feels similar to that. A little bit like the Adidas foam that those guys are using as well. So it's similar, it's a PEBA based foam. It's a similar kind of feel. The difference between all the shoes really is going to be, I think, the drop. Hoka usually 5mm. This is 5mm again. It does feel lower. You've got this little bit of a curve up on the heel. It's hollowed out in the center as well here, both to the exposed carbon plate. And can you see how it's kind of hollowed out here? So there's not a lot going in. So there's a lot of sink there. When you're studying the shoe, your foot does seem to sink back. I know you're not going to be, running along like that. You're going to be rolling forward and hopefully landing a little bit more midfoot, but it does feel lower, and that's the only real noticeable difference for me that I found when running the shoe. But I've done sessions on the treadmill, mile reps, 5:30 kind of pace, felt great. Tempo run on the road, 6-minute kind of pace. Again, felt great, feels very smooth. I think it would sit perfectly in that 5K to half marathon kind of range. I don't think I'd want to do a marathon in it. Again, the low drop, too low for me personally, I'm sure many people will do marathons in it, okay? In fact, check out the video that we posted a couple of days ago about the shoe count from the recent Manchester Marathon, and you can find out exactly what all those runners under 3 hours were wearing. So yeah, 5K to half marathon shoe for me personally. Upper, very thin. You can see, hello, you can see straight through it, single layer, ripstop kind design. I think they call this a mono mesh. And then this internal, see better here, this single bonded internally structure to give it shape around the midfoot, around the toe box. The heel, no heel counter. So, and you can see how this curves in a lot, okay? Not an issue. Nice, smooth, kind of suede lining in here, or fabric, kind of feels a bit suede feel, you know, that kind of texture. Layer of padding, fits nice around the ankle. It does curve in a lot on the run, don't notice it. The only issue is getting the shoe on. Triathletes are going to struggle a lot here because they push the shoe in like that. No structure, this falls in on itself and then you can't get that out. And also, let me open the shoe up here, because the tongue is gusseted in 4 points. So if we look inside, I don't know if you can see, you've got this strap, you've got another one down there as well. So you've got 2 on either side of the foot. They do a great job of holding this very thin single layer tongue in place and wraps the foot in. Beautiful once it's on. But it does mean that you've got to do a bit of stretching and what have you to get your foot in. For runners of any distance, that's not going to be an issue. They tend to, you know, you'll be putting your race shoes on very carefully, getting them nice and straight, the tongue in place, and sorting your laces out. No issue. Triathletes will struggle on that, and Hoka do sponsor and end their shoes out. A lot of triathletes are very popular. They're going to struggle. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe they can kind of cut this first band off here. Who knows? But that will be an issue. For runners, not so much. Another issue, we're getting very slight kind of niggle here. We've got a single layer. They've cut holes in the single layer tongue and put this mesh on for breathability. Make it super breathable, like this one, because this layer of mesh is just bonded on. That's come away, like 2 wears. It's coming away there. It's more breathable now, so I'll probably just tear that off, to be honest, and it will come away very easily. I didn't even notice until I got the shoe out to make the video. Not a deal breaker. Quality, not great. Should have been, you know, I don't know. I would have just left the mesh off, keep the exposed holes, and that would allow the breathability if that's what we need. But again, it would have reduced the structure of that tongue even further. So again, not a deal breaker. It's a great upper. It's supportive, fits well, very breathable. The heel counter, lack of the heel counter isn't an issue. It's just a little bit of a struggle getting it on. When you do get it on, it feels great. It runs really nice and smooth. It feels fast. So try it in store, I think, is the thing. You know, you'll know when you put this shoe on if it's what you're after when it comes to carbon plated racing shoes. So Hoka Rocket X, it's available now. Will you try it? Did you wear the original Rocket X? Are you going to try this one? Or are other carbon plated shoes doing it for you right now? Let us know what you think. Of course, subscribe, like the video, share it, do all that kind of stuff. Keep watching. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with more product reviews. Thank you.